Are you ready to be you? This is the question that hides behind every other question you have ever asked yourself. Beneath the search for success, beneath the longing for love, beneath the hunger for recognition, beneath the weight of failure, there rests one burning question: are you ready to be you? Not the reflection you show to the world, not the polished image you wear like a mask, not the role others expect you to play, but you, the raw, unshaped, untamed, radiant essence that has been silently waiting in the depth of your being. To be yourself is not an act of chance. It is the greatest challenge of a lifetime. Many people live and die without ever meeting their true self. They live in borrowed clothes, speaking borrowed words, carrying borrowed beliefs, chasing borrowed dreams. They mistake comfort for truth and routine for destiny. But the moment arrives when the mask grows too heavy, when the roles become too narrow, when the life you live feels like a cage rather than a home. That is the moment when the question begins to whisper, are you ready to be you? To answer yes requires courage. For to be yourself is to step into the unknown. It is to risk the disapproval of those who only love the mask. It is to face the shadows of your own soul, to see what you have hidden even from yourself. To be yourself is not simply to claim your strengths, your talents, your desires. It is also to face your fears, your weaknesses, your contradictions, the wounds you would rather forget. The self is not made of light alone. It is woven of both darkness and light, of both glory and pain. Are you ready to carry the whole truth of what you are? When you begin to strip away the false layers, you will feel naked. The applause may quiet. The familiar walls may collapse. The people who once seemed closest to you may no longer understand you. This is the price of awakening. To discover who you are means to step outside of who you were told to be. You will be called arrogant by those who are afraid to see your strength. You will be called selfish by those who benefited from your silence. You will be called strange by those who never dared to question their own reflection. But do not shrink back. Every great transformation appears as madness to the untransformed. The path to yourself is not paved with easy affirmations. It is built on choices that demand inner fire. To say yes to your authentic self is to say no to every compromise that betrays your spirit. It is to refuse the comfort of conformity and choose instead the discomfort of truth. It is to look in the mirror and recognize both the brokenness and the brilliance within you, and to declare, this is me, and I will not abandon myself again. You may ask, why is it so hard simply to be myself? Because from the moment you were born, you were surrounded by expectations. You were taught what to think, what to believe, what to chase, how to speak, how to behave, how to succeed. Little by little, you learned to hide the parts of you that did not fit. You buried your wildness, your intuition, your honest voice, your deepest desires. You became skilled in adaptation, a master of masks, and the world rewarded you for it, until one day you realized that the reward was emptiness. That no matter how much you achieved, no matter how much you pleased, something essential was missing. That missing piece is you. To awaken to yourself is to reclaim that which was lost. It is to remember the dreams you silenced, the questions you stopped asking, the courage you buried. It is to hear your own voice again, louder than the noise of the world. It is to feel your own heartbeat guiding you toward a destiny no one else can write. To be yourself is not selfish, it is sacred. For only by being fully you can give the world the gift it truly needs. Not another imitation, not another copy, but a soul set on fire with authenticity. Do not fear your uniqueness. It is not an accident, it is your signature in the universe. Imagine if every star in the night sky tried to shine like the others. The heavens would lose their beauty. It is precisely because each star burns in its own way that the sky becomes magnificent. The same is true of you. You diminish yourself when you try to fit into the molds of others. You betray your light when you silence your truth to maintain harmony. The world does not need your obedience, it needs your originality. But make no mistake, being yourself is not an escape from responsibility. It is the deepest responsibility of all. To live authentically is to honor the life that has been given to you, to fulfill the purpose only you can fulfill. When you betray yourself, you betray not only your own soul, but also the people who would have been touched by your true presence. When you hide your gift, you rob the world of the light you were meant to bring. To awaken to yourself is to awaken to service, not service in chains, but service in freedom, the kind that flows naturally when you live in alignment with your truth. Many people wait for permission to be themselves. They wait for approval, for the perfect moment, for someone else to validate their worth. But the permission you are waiting for will never come from outside. The only one who can grant it is the self that waits within you. You must rise up and claim your right to exist as you are. You must learn to say, I will no longer betray myself for acceptance. I will no longer hide my voice to avoid rejection. I will no longer shrink my light to make others comfortable. I am ready to be me. This readiness will be tested. Life will not give you a crown for choosing yourself. It will give you trials. You will be tested by failure, by doubt, by loneliness, by misunderstanding. These are not punishments but initiations. They are the fire through which the true self is forged. Every test asks you again, are you ready to be you even here, even now, even when it costs you everything? And every time you answer yes, your soul grows stronger, your light shines brighter, your life becomes more your own. To be yourself is not to arrive at some perfect image of what you should be. It is to embrace what you are, moment by moment, growing, changing, unfolding, but always rooted in truth. It is to stand in your flaws as much as in your strengths. It is to walk with your doubts as much as with your convictions. It is to dance with your contradictions, to live the wholeness of your being without shame. For you are not meant to be perfect, you are meant to be whole. So ask yourself now, with all the honesty you can summon, are you ready to be you? Are you ready to lay down the masks, the borrowed identities, the false loyalties, the cages of expectation? Are you ready to walk the path where no one can walk for you? Are you ready to claim your birthright? The right to exist fully, freely, authentically. The world does not need another shadow of what already exists. The world needs the one thing only you can give yourself. Are you ready to be you? This is the question that has always been waiting for you, beneath every other question you have ever asked. Beneath your search for success, beneath your hunger for love, beneath your desire for recognition, beneath the fear of failure, there rests this one question, quiet but unshakable. Are you ready to be you? Not the version of you that the world shaped, not the reflection you crafted to earn approval, not the mask that hides your truth, but the unfiltered, raw, unashamed, untamed essence that has been there from the beginning. To be yourself is not the simplest task, it is the hardest battle of life. Many live their entire lives without ever truly meeting themselves. They follow paths written by others, they chase dreams that were never their own, they wear costumes so convincing that even they begin to forget what lies underneath. But deep down, there comes a moment when the mask feels heavy, when the applause feels hollow, when the life that once seemed safe begins to feel like a cage. In that moment, the question whispers louder, are you ready to be you? To answer yes requires courage, because to be yourself is not to step into the familiar, but into the unknown. It is to risk being misunderstood, to risk being rejected, to risk losing what was never truly yours to begin with. To be yourself is to look into the mirror without filters, without pretenses, without excuses, and to see both the beauty and the brokenness that make you whole. It is to stop running from the shadows you carry, to confront the fears, the doubts, the hidden wounds that you tried to bury. To be yourself means to accept that you are not just light but also darkness, not just strength but also weakness, not just certainty but also questions. And still to say, this is me, and I will not abandon myself again. The moment you begin to peel away the false layers, you will feel exposed. The applause may fade, the familiar walls may crumble. The people who once seemed closest may no longer recognize you. This is not a punishment, this is the price of awakening. To discover who you are is to step outside of who you were told to be. It is to lose the comfort of conformity and gain the freedom of truth. Many will not understand you. Some will call you arrogant for walking in your own strength, selfish for honoring your own soul, strange for refusing to follow the old script. But do not shrink back. Every soul that awakens is first seen as a disruption by the world that sleeps. Every great transformation begins with the courage to appear different. You may wonder, why is it so difficult to simply be myself? Because from the moment you opened your eyes, the world began to mold you. You were told what to believe, how to behave, what to want, what to suppress. You learned to silence your own voice when it clashed with the voices around you. You learned to bury your questions, to hide your desires, to tame your instincts. You became skilled in adaptation, a master at blending into roles. And for a while it worked. You were rewarded with approval, with safety, with belonging. But the cost was the slow fading of your own truth. The cost was forgetting the sound of your own soul, until one day you realized that no matter how much you achieve, no matter how much you please, something essential is missing. That missing piece is you. To awaken to yourself is not to run away from life, but to enter into it fully. It is to remember the dreams you silenced, to hear your own voice louder than the noise of the world, to trust your own heartbeat as your compass. To be yourself is not selfish, it is sacred, because only when you are truly yourself can you give to the world what it actually needs. The world does not need another copy, it does not need another shadow, it does not need another voice repeating what has already been said. The world needs the gift that only you carry, and that gift cannot come through a mask. Your uniqueness is not a flaw, it is your signature in existence. No two stars shine the same, and yet the sky would be empty if each tried to imitate the other. It is the variety of light that makes the heavens magnificent. In the same way, you are not here to blend into the sameness of expectation, you are here to radiate the truth of your own being. Every time you betray yourself for approval, every time you silence your truth for comfort, every time you dim your light for the ease of others, the world loses something it will never see again. To live authentically is not just to honor yourself, it is to honor life itself. Being yourself will not make life easier, it will make it real. It will call you to responsibility, for when you awaken to who you truly are, you can no longer hide behind excuses. You can no longer blame the world for steering you when you have chosen your own path. Authenticity demands responsibility because to live your truth is to carry it with integrity. But that responsibility is not a burden, it is freedom. For when you are aligned with yourself, you no longer live in conflict. You no longer waste energy sustaining illusions. You live from the center, and from that center flows strength, clarity, and peace. Do not wait for permission to be yourself. No one can grant it to you. No one can validate the truth of your being but you. Stop waiting for approval. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for someone to notice you and say now you are enough. The only permission that matters is the one you give yourself. To rise each morning and declare I am enough as I am. I am worthy of living my truth. I am ready to carry my own life. This is the declaration that changes everything. And yet, life will test your readiness. It will ask you again and again, are you ready to be you when it costs you comfort? When it costs you belonging? When it costs you certainty? Are you ready to be you even when no one applauds, even when you stand alone, even when the world misunderstands? These are the trials that forge the authentic soul. They are not punishments, they are initiations. Every time you choose truth over illusion, every time you choose courage over fear, every time you choose authenticity over approval, you step deeper into the reality of who you are. And with each step, your presence grows stronger, your light shines brighter, your life becomes more your own. To be yourself is not to reach some perfect image, it is to live the wholeness of your being. It is to walk with your flaws and your strengths, your doubts and your convictions, your contradictions and your clarity. It is to be human in the fullest sense, not fragmented, not divided, not performing for the gaze of others, but whole and unashamed. You are not here to be perfect, you are here to be real. You are not here to be what the world wants, you are here to be what the soul longs to express. So I ask again, are you ready to be you? Are you ready to lay down the borrowed masks, the false roles, the cages of expectation? Are you ready to stop betraying yourself for the illusion of safety? Are you ready to take the path that only you can walk, the one that has been waiting for you since the beginning? The world does not need another imitation. The world needs the one thing only you can give. The world needs you. Are you ready to be you? Are you ready to be you? Not the image you have built for the world to accept, not the version others shaped with their expectations, but you in the raw, unfiltered truth of your being. The question may sound simple, but it carries the weight of an entire lifetime. From the moment you entered this world, you were surrounded by voices telling you who you should be, how you should act, what you should desire, and what parts of yourself should be hidden. You learned early how to adapt, how to suppress, how to wear the mask that kept you safe, approved, and welcomed. Yet within you, there has always been a whisper, a quiet reminder that the mask is not the whole story, that the life you are living is not the full truth. The whisper grows louder when the applause feels empty, when the approval of others tastes like ash, when the path you follow feels more like a cage than a calling. In those moments you begin to realize that what you long for is not more validation, not more recognition, not even more success. What you long for is the courage to be yourself. To be yourself is not easy. It is not an act of chance, it is an act of courage. It means peeling away the layers of pretense, facing the parts of you that you have buried, daring to show the world not just your polished side, but also your flaws, your doubts, your wounds, your contradictions. It means accepting that you are not made of perfection but of wholeness, light and shadow, strength and weakness, clarity and uncertainty all woven together. Most people never choose this path because it threatens the comfort of conformity. They prefer to live as fragments, as reflections, as echoes of others rather than as the fullness of their own being. But if you are to live a life that is truly yours, you must risk being misunderstood, risk losing approval, risk walking alone. For only then will you discover the freedom that comes with authenticity. The world will not make this easy for you. It will tell you that you are arrogant for stepping into your power, selfish for honoring your truth, strange for refusing to follow the script. But you must remember that every soul who has ever awakened has first been misunderstood. Every voice that ever spoke truth was once resisted. Every person who dared to live fully was once seen as different. The discomfort of rejection is not a sign that you are wrong. It is often the first proof that you are finally becoming real. Do not run from it, for it is through these trials that you are tested and refined. Why is it so difficult simply to be yourself? Because from the beginning you were taught to trade authenticity for safety. You learned to betray your own voice in order to be accepted, to bury your own dreams in order to be approved, to shrink your own light so that others could feel comfortable. And so you became skilled at adaptation, wearing masks so convincing that even you began to forget the truth underneath. But there always comes a day when the mask grows too heavy, when the borrowed life no longer fits, when the emptiness of pretending becomes unbearable. That is the moment you are called to awaken. That is the moment the question rises like fire, are you ready to be you? To awaken to yourself is not selfish, it is sacred. For only when you live as your authentic self can you give the world what it truly needs. The world does not need another imitation, another echo, another obedient reflection. It needs the light that only you can bring, the gift that only you carry, the truth that only you can speak. And yet, to bring that gift you must first accept it within yourself. You must be willing to stand in the uniqueness of your being, to embrace the parts of you that do not fit the mold, to walk the path that only you can walk. Your uniqueness is not an accident, it is your signature upon existence. Just as the sky would be less without the variety of stars, the world is less when you hide your light. Being yourself will demand responsibility, for authenticity is not an escape but a deeper commitment. It means no longer blaming the world for defining you, no longer hiding behind excuses, no longer living half alive. It means rising each day and choosing to stand in your truth no matter what it costs. But this responsibility is not a burden, it is freedom. For when you no longer waste energy maintaining illusions, when you no longer divide yourself between what you feel and what you show, when you no longer betray yourself for acceptance, you discover a strength and a peace that cannot be shaken. You must stop waiting for permission. No one can grant it to you. The world will never line up and tell you that now is the time to be yourself. That power belongs only to you. You must decide here and now that you are done betraying yourself, done silencing your voice, done dimming your light. You must declare to yourself that you are enough as you are, that you are worthy of your own truth, that you are ready to live your own life. Every transformation begins with this decision, and every step beyond it is simply the practice of remembering it again and again. Life will test your readiness. It will ask you whether you are willing to be yourself even when it costs you belonging, even when it costs you certainty, even when it costs you approval. These trials are not punishments but initiations, for it is in the fire of resistance that authenticity is forged. Every time you choose to remain true in the face of doubt, every time you stand firm in the face of rejection, every time you honor yourself in the face of fear, you step more fully into your own being. And with every step, your presence deepens. Your light grows stronger, your life becomes your own. To be yourself does not mean to arrive at some perfect image of who you should be. It means to live in the wholeness of who you are, to walk with your flaws as well as your gifts, to embrace your doubts as much as your convictions, to stand in your contradictions without shame. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to be real. You are not here to live out the expectations of others. You are here to live the truth of your own soul. The world does not need you to be flawless. It needs you to be authentic. So I ask you again, with all the weight of truth, are you ready to be you? Are you ready to shed the borrowed masks, to step out of the cages of expectation, to stop betraying yourself for the illusion of safety? Are you ready to claim the path that has always been waiting for you, the path no one else can walk? Are you ready to give the world the one thing it cannot find anywhere else? Yourself. Are you ready to be you? Are you ready to be you? Not the reflection you offer to others, not the identity you constructed to survive, not the image carefully polished for the world, but the unfiltered truth that lives within you. This question is not a casual one. It is the question that has echoed in the background of every choice, every desire, every fear you have ever known. Beneath the hunger for success, beneath the need for love, beneath the drive for recognition, beneath the shadow of failure, the same question waits. Are you ready to be you? To be yourself is not to step into ease, it is to step into fire. It demands the courage to let go of the masks, to abandon the borrowed roles, to see yourself without distortion, without excuses, without denial. It demands that you face not only the light you are proud of, but also the shadows you have hidden, the wounds you have buried, the contradictions you have tried to silence. To be yourself is to embrace the totality of your being, not the edited fragments. From the moment you came into this world, others began shaping you. You were told what to believe, what to value, what was acceptable and what was shameful. You were rewarded when you conformed, you were corrected when you strayed. Slowly, piece by piece, you learned to silence your own voice in order to be accepted, to suppress your own instincts in order to be safe, to bury your own truth in order to belong. You became skilled at wearing masks, until the masks became so heavy that you forgot the face beneath them. Yet the truth never vanished. It remained, waiting beneath the surface, whispering in moments of stillness, reminding you that the life you are living is not the fullness of who you are. And in moments of emptiness, when the applause feels hollow and the recognition feels meaningless, the whisper becomes louder. It asks again, are you ready to be you? Most people never answer yes. They spend their entire lives as echoes, reflections, imitations of the world around them. They hide behind the safety of conformity, never risking the courage of authenticity. But to live this way is to abandon the very essence of existence. For life is not asking you to become what others want. Life is asking you to become what only you can be. No one else can live your truth. No one else can walk your path. No one else can express your unique light. To hide yourself is not humility, it is betrayal. To deny yourself is not safety, it is death in slow motion. The world does not need another mask. The world needs you. And yet, being yourself will cost you. It will cost you approval. It will cost you the comfort of fitting in. It will cost you the security of being predictable. People will not always understand you. They may call you arrogant when you step into your power. They may call you selfish when you honor your soul. They may call you strange when you refuse to follow the script. But every soul that has awakened has first been misunderstood. Every voice that has spoken truth has first been resisted. Every being that has chosen authenticity has first been alone. Do not let this frighten you. The loneliness of the beginning is the price of freedom. For on the other side of that loneliness is the community of the awakened, the rare few who have dared to live in truth. To be yourself is not to seek perfection, it is to embrace wholeness. It is to accept that you are both light and dark, strength and weakness, clarity and confusion. It is to walk forward carrying both your wounds and your wisdom. It is to live without pretending, without dividing yourself into acceptable and unacceptable parts. For you are not here to be flawless, you are here to be whole. Wholeness does not mean perfection. It means honesty. It means living without betrayal of the self. It means standing in your truth even when your voice shakes, even when your path trembles beneath your feet. Do not wait for permission. No one can give it to you. The world will never announce that now is the right time to be yourself. Approval will not come before you begin, it only follows when you no longer need it. The only permission that matters is the permission you give yourself. The moment you decide that you will no longer betray yourself, that you will no longer silence your truth, that you will no longer dim your light for the comfort of others, that moment everything begins to shift. The life you have longed for has been waiting for your yes, waiting for your decision, waiting for your courage. But life will test that yes. It will ask you again and again, are you ready to be you even when it costs you certainty, even when it costs you comfort, even when it costs you belonging? These are not punishments, they are initiations. They are the fire that shapes the authentic soul. Every time you choose yourself in the face of rejection, you grow stronger. Every time you choose truth in the face of fear, you grow freer. Every time you choose authenticity in the face of misunderstanding, you grow more alive. Slowly, step by step, you become whole. So the question returns, the question that has always been waiting for you. the question that no one else can answer on your behalf. Are you ready to be you? There comes a moment when hesitation must end, when excuses must fall silent, when the life that is waiting for you demands to be lived. That moment is now. No more shrinking, no more hiding, no more betraying the truth of who you are. Stand in your own light, even if it burns away everything false. Walk your own path, even if you must begin alone. Speak your own truth, even if your voice trembles. Because the greatest tragedy is not to die. It is to live without ever having been yourself. So rise, and let the world finally meet the real you.